Cheryl, come back a minute, Cheryl.
Tell Cheryl to write down.
That's only the second mistake I've made. The first one was getting out of bed this morning.
I want to thank Cheryl, his wife Barbara, for opening their property here for this event. I certainly appreciate it. It's a very nice day. Thank you all for coming out. I want to share a story with you. The first time I met Cheryl was a few years ago. I actually stopped him. You know, he's a pilot, and he's always going somewhere, and he was going a little bit too fast one day, and I pulled him over, and I was on Interstate 10, around Lane Avenue, and I'm out by my right front fender. I'm going to just write him a warning. And we're sitting there talking, and these flies start flying around my head, but I noticed they're not bothering Cheryl. So I said, "What? How come these flies are bothering me? They're not bothering you?" He said, "Well, those are what you call circle flies." I said, "Well, what's a circle fly?" He said, "You know those flies that fly around horsetails?" I said, "Yeah, but why would they be flying around me? There's not any horses out here anywhere." He said, "Well, you can fool some people, but you can't fool those circle flies." And I got to thinking about it a minute. I think he just called me a horse's butt. And I was just giving him a warning. So I can imagine what he said if I was giving him a ticket. But thank you again. Hugh Graham, who had to leave, also helped set up this event. Connie Johnson, thank you for doing the same. And former Sheriff Ray Geiger, who's also a supporter of mine. He couldn't be here today. His wife had to go to the doctor, but I want to thank him too. I know it's hot out there. I certainly appreciate you all coming here, taking time out of your Saturday to come to this event. Hope you got enough to eat. I want to introduce my wife, Emma. Please stand up. Quick story about Emma. We met, the first time I seen her, I was 14 years old. I was in the 9th grade. She was in the 10th grade. Back then, 9th grade was in junior high. 10th, 11th, and 12th in high school. So I used to go to the football games on Friday night, and she was a cheerleader, and I used to sit in the stands and watch her cheer. I thought she was really cute and just mesmerized back then. And the team scored a touchdown one day and one time, and they threw out these little plastic footballs. And I'm standing in the stands, and she threw one right to me. And I thought two things. I thought, man, she's got a pretty good arm. And I think she likes me because she threw me this football. But later on, I realized she didn't have quite the arm I thought she had because she was trying to throw it to a guy that was about 3 rows up. But later on, when I got into high school, I was in the library. One of my classes was a library assistant. She came in, checked in a book, which was overdue, by the way, and we got to talking again. The next thing we know, we went to junior senior prom, and the rest is history. But in 3 days, we'll be celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary. So. My dad, Joe, is here. Joe's sitting over there underneath the tent. My mom couldn't be here today. She's having back problems today, so she wasn't able to make it over. But my dad was a city police officer for the Fernandina Beach Police Department in the 1950s and 60s as I was growing up. Probably where I first became interested in a law enforcement career. My mother owned a small business. She was a waitress at one time. At night, she went to school during the day to get her beautician's license. She became a hairstylist, eventually owned her own beauty shop for over 30 years. My sister, Brenda, works at Nassau Baptist Hospital. She's been a nurse for 38 years. Of course, you all know my brother, Danny, who worked a long time with the Fernandina Beach Fire Department, was the fire chief. He retired, and now he represents District 1 as Nassau County Commissioner. You know, public safety is one of the most important responsibilities that face a community. An area with safe neighborhoods, safe schools, and safe streets are what allow working families and small businesses to prosper and grow. It makes people want to move to or visit your community, which can help the economy. And it also enhances our quality of lives. And as a candidate for sheriff, I'm committed to protecting your family, your property, and our values. I grew up here, graduated from Fernandina Beach High School in 1971. Was drafted by the New York Mets, went off and played professional baseball in their minor league organization for a few years. Graduate of the Florida Highway Patrol Academy, the University of Louisville Southern Police Institute, Northwestern University Senior Management Leadership Program, and I have a Bachelor of Arts degree from Columbia College in Missouri. My wife and I have owned a retail business in downtown Fernandina for the past 28 years now. Business we started, and it's been very, very successful. I've been a law enforcement officer for 35 years. Spent 8 of those years as a homicide investigator, and the last 23 years in supervision and management. During the course of my career, I've supervised patrol operations, homicide investigation, drug interdiction. I've been an evidence custodian, a firearm instructor, and also an agency spokesperson for the last 18 years. I can just simply say that this election is very, very important. We all know how important it is for the direction of our country on a national level, but the local races are very important as well. And it matters who we elect to public office. And I say it really matters who we elect as our next sheriff. And I can simply say that I'm running because I care about our community. I care about the quality of law enforcement services that are provided to all of us. And I'm in it for the right reasons. And that's all. And I would certainly appreciate your support. I appreciate your vote, which is more important. We have to get people out to vote. We all know that a low percentage of people vote, so the more people we get to vote, the better off the results will be. If you want an honest, fair, hardworking, and dedicated professional as your next sheriff, then I ask for your support and vote, because that's exactly who you'll get. Someone who cares, someone who will listen, someone who will be accountable, and someone who you can trust. You know, I won't stand up here and make a bunch of promises just to get you to vote for me. I'm not going to do that. I've seen too many politicians make promises that they don't keep, they can't keep, or realize once they get elected it's not quite as easy as they thought it was. But what I'll simply tell you is, if elected, I will work hard every day to strive to be the best sheriff I can be, to make sure the department provides the best services they can provide, to make sure your tax dollars are spent wisely and appropriately, and to represent you with honesty and integrity. I've talked with a lot of you today about issues that concern you. I've been all over the county talking to people about other issues as well. Get an idea of what's important to people. And you know, feeling safe in your home, at your work, at school is very important. And it's important to our quality of life here. It's important when we try to attract businesses to come to Nassau County. They want to come to a safe community. And that's what I want to provide. And I believe I can do that. So if any of you have any concerns about the Sheriff's Office, about any issues that you would like the Sheriff's Office to prioritize, certainly let me know that. Certainly can't do anything about it until I'm elected, but I can assure you, once elected, I will address your concerns. It'll be my #1 priority. So again, thank you for coming. It means a lot. I'm very, very humbled and honored that you would come here, take out of your time to come here today, and I appreciate it. When you leave, please be safe. So thank you very much.
Does anyone have a question you'd like to ask Bill? I'll tell you what, I'll lead it off. Bill, there's a neighbor here that he and I had this conversation Friday, I think it was. He was concerned about the deputy that we have in this community right now that seems to be doing a real good job, and he's concerned about his future. Could you maybe tell us what your plans are for the deputies that are already in there?
Well, certainly, you hear rumors about a new sheriff coming in town and getting rid of everybody, and that's not certainly what I'm about. People doing a good job. They have a lot of good employees working, and we need to keep them working in our community. If someone works your community, I want you to know their name. I want you to know who they are. So in case something was to happen, you know who you can call to come help you. I don't want your neighborhood patrolled by a bunch of strangers. I want you to know the deputies that are patrolling your area. So it's very important to me. I'm sure it is to you, your neighbors. The people that are there now have a job until they prove otherwise. But I have a lot of support inside the department, and they do a good job.
Thank you, Bill. That answer your question we talked about the other day? All right, very good. Any other questions, folks? Anybody got anything you'd like to ask Bill publicly? Yes.
No, I did not feed the dogs before I left today. Or I did not take out the trash either. But I will do that. That's on my list to do when I get home.
It's amazing how his wife can do anything, ask anything she wants to, and it's okay. Bill was talking about us knowing the deputies and them knowing us, and I feel strongly about that. And some of you commissioners know how strongly I felt about the Nassau County Fire Department. And these fellows are here today, and you'll see one of them hugging my wife because he's part of a group that saved her life. And when these men know you, they know about you, they can help you a lot quicker than someone who's got to learn what's this all about. But that man, along with 3 others, came to my house when my wife was, she was just there. And thank the Lord, thank these firefighter paramedics that she's doing well today. But they've had to transport her to the hospital when she's in really bad shape 3, 4, 5 times maybe, John. It's been a number, hasn't it, buddy? And we'll forever be grateful to you firemen. And while we're talking about the firemen did the cooking today. The Firefighters Union has done all this work for Bill. And how about giving them a hand? Would y'all do that? Thank you, guys. Appreciate you so much. And one of the